Welcome back to Magoo's Review. So, everybody's having a blessed day. So, this is my spoilers review for Mr. McMahon, episode 4 Netflix documentary titled Attitude Era. This is really dope. Like I said, it's a refresher for me, man. I just enjoy just going back and looking over because I do remember this time period. This is definitely the time period I grew up in, the 90s era of wrestling, you know? So, watching it, man, this really does bring the Mr. McMahon character to light and how he became the greatest heel in wrestling. Because, like I said, at that time, they were losing to WCW in the ratings, man. WCWC, Kevin Nash, Scott Hall came over. They clicked with Hulk Hogan, become the NWO. They had Randy Savage over there, Lex Luger jumped ship over there. Then they already had Sting, Ric Flair. Then at the time, man, they also had Chris Jericho, Rey Mysterio, Eddie Guerrero. I mean, WCW had a roster, man. Their cruiserweight division was absolutely amazing. So Vince was going head to head against them. Like it was rough, and he had to find new stars, man. Bret Hart jumped ship over there, after the Montreal screw job. So Vince was like, he has to find somebody. So the whole Mr. McMahon character is coming up. But now you see that when Triple H didn't get the King of the Ring, they gave it to Stone Cold. Stone Cold won King of the Ring. That's when the whole Austin 316, and that's the bottom line. After that promo, you see the Austin 316 signs in the stands and everything like that. That's another thing about wrestling, man. You don't see those posters no more, bro. Growing up, man, it was, I remember, man, every fan had the posters, though. They had the signs. Oh, I missed that. It was a time. It definitely was a time. When you see Stone Cold coming up, and Stone Cold said, he says, man, any other time in wrestling, I'm a heel. He's like, I'm a heel because of the things I'm saying. I'm going against my boss. I'm hitting my finish move. I'm beating him up. But it was the perfect time because they had to go against WCW because what their competition was doing. You know what I mean? And Stone Cold really just did take off. Now, don't get me wrong. WCW was building up Goldberg around that time. Goldberg was a huge deal, too. But Stone Cold, my personal opinion, I thought Stone Cold was a bigger pop as far as popularity. I thought Stone Cold was a little bigger. Pause. But yeah, man, it was just a time. And then you see WrestleMania 14 coming around the corner with, Shawn Michaels and Stone Cold about to wrestle in the main event. Now, because Shawn Michaels was the WWE champion. Now, here's the thing: in 1998 Royal Rumble, Shawn Michaels and Undertaker, they had a wrestling match, casket match. Shawn Michaels got hurt in that, hurt his back. So when you watch that WrestleMania match, even though Shawn is moving and everything, Shawn to me is one of the greatest. He is the greatest wrestler of all time, my personal opinion. But I think Shawn Michaels, man, you could tell he was hurt, and Stone Cold wasn't happy with the match. But the Attitude Era, DX, really did like pioneer that. You said, you see Shawn Michaels come out there just being real provocative and raunchy. Triple H and China. So it's funny, like they say, like how you see Scott Hall and Kevin Nash, two parts of the clique over there helping create the NWO. In WWE, you see Shawn Michaels and Triple H, two other parts of the clip create, D-Generation X. So, man, it just really was a time. It was a great time, man. And that match, like I said, Mike Tyson was a special guest referee. At the time, Mike, he had, he bit Holyfield's ear. He had the whole allegations and all that kind of stuff. So Mike really went through it. But he was still a prolific and big figure, you know what I'm saying? He still is today. But at that time, it was a big deal. I remember that, seeing Stone Cold, Mike Tyson, and Shawn Michaels for WrestleMania. Oh, man, that was a huge deal. That was a huge deal back then, man. So it was really cool. Like, you see WWE, man, their roster really started to bring up, especially when you got Stone Cold at the head. Him and Vince McMahon having that rivalry, which was just absolutely incredible, man. That hospital skit between the two was the funniest thing between Stone Cold and Vince McMahon. To this day, it's absolutely hilarious. I remember watching that with my dad and my brother at the time, and we were laughing so hard when we saw it. But, man, I mean, just at the time, too, like, Stone Cold come with the ranks. You see him win the title. Now he's WWE champion. Boom. Here comes another one, man, The Rock. The Rock came, man. Rocky Maivia, Rocky sucks, Rocky sucks. When he made that transition to turn heel, he joined the Nation of Domination with Farouk, Godfather, D'Lo Brown. The Rock took off, man. He took off. When they let him, speak on the mic, and Rock's he's a great wrestler, too, man. Like, it was just literally lightning the bottle at that time, because you had Stone Cold coming up. You had The Rock. You had Undertaker still in there. You had D-Generation X. Kane came. Mankind. You know what I mean? Of course, Mr. McMahon. It was just WWE. Hardy Boys. At that time, man, they had a crazy roster of just talent, man. Absolute talent. In the same time, it was very provocative as well. People forget Sable. I remember them, Sable and Jacqueline, all of them, like the divas at the time. Now, here's the thing. I will say this about women's wrestling today. 100 times better than what it was when I grew up. It is 100 times better. I'm talking about the women wrestlers today are absolutely amazing, man. They're very good. The women's division is absolutely good, where they can have their own Royal Rumble because that's how many women they have wrestling on their roster. So the women's wrestling today is way better than what it was in the past, because back then they were looked at more as of you know, I'm trying to watch the words. It's all YouTube, but you know what I mean. They were used more so for their bodies and stuff like that. And I remember during that time, yeah, man, as a teenage boy, you seen that on TV. That was the attitude there, man. Like they said, out of Stone Cold being up there, and we see that's really our spike in ratings. When Sable came, that was another thing, because little teenage, preteen boys seeing her on TV and stuff like that. So it was a big deal, man. The attitude was a very big deal. At the same time, they did state that, yeah, we were very I guess demeaning towards women in ways, you know what I mean, with the whole bra and panties match and stuff like that. So it was definitely a time. And I remember Sable, she did leave at the height of her career. She did state why she did leave at the height of her career, stating harassment against Vince McMahon and stuff like that, doing things she didn't want to do. You know what I mean? But man, that was a crazy time. It was literally, and I think Trish Stratus said it in the documentary as well, that the attitude there was a parallel of what was going on in society when Howard Stern was on TV, Jerry Springer was on TV. And then you had stuff like Girls Gone Wild, and all that crazy stuff. South Park, which I still love to this day. So yeah, all those things going on in the attitude era. Now here's another thing. They sort of get really somber. They did speak about Owen Hart's death. I remember when Owen died, man. I remember seeing that, and next day like Owen passing away. That really hurt because Brett was at WCW now, and his brother passed away. And Vince said he did speak to Owen and said, "Hey man, do you want to stay?" And he said, "Yeah, I'll stay." And I think Owen Hart, man, if he would have lived, I always say if, man. I think he would have had great matches with Kurt Angle, Rey Mysterio, Eddie Guerrero, before he passed away. I think we had great matches with, I think, Chris Jericho, Edge, Christian. There were so many people that Owen Hart could have worked with, that I think would have been absolutely great for him, man. I mean, just perfect, man. I would have loved to see Owen Hart versus Kurt Angle in a wrestling match. I mean, Owen was amazing, man. He really truly was. And he was fast, too. Owen was absolutely fast. He was a very good wrestler, man. So that was sad, man, because they really did speak on Owen Hart. But another thing, man, and like I said, this is stuff I already knew, but the wrestlers, man, you see the promos of Jeff Jarrett and Deborah speaking right after Owen passed away, and they see their body roll past. And Vince is like, "Hey, you got to go. You're going on." Like, imagine what that does to somebody's mental. So you see Jeff Jarrett trying to hold it together in his promo. You see Deborah trying to hold it together, and they're about to break down. Like, "Yo, man, he just died. We got to go out there." Like, I couldn't imagine. But then they asked Vince, like, because Bret Hart said, "We'll feel ashamed," because I did hear Bret say that over the years. And Vince was like, "Hey, if it was my own son, even if it was me, I want the show to go on." That's rough, man. That's rough. Vince McMahon said it. He said it in the documentary. I can't remember which episode it was. He said, "I would do anything for our business. Anything." He says, "And I don't fight fair." He said, "I will cheat to win." Yeah, Vince McMahon is cutthroat. He is cutthroat. He's a businessman. WWE, it is what it is because of him. But at the same time, hearing stuff like that and seeing that, man, it's like, dang, man, that got to be rough, man. Like, it don't matter who it was, the show's going on. I can't imagine how they mentally felt going through that. Even you see Undertaker, because Undertaker and Stone Cold fought that night. You see Undertaker at one point, he kind of looks down at the ring where Owen passed away, and he has this look on his face. Like, you can see him out of character for a second, like, man, that was rough. That was absolutely rough. I remember that, man. So the Attitude episode was very good. Like I said, it was stuff I've already known. Because I grew up. I grew up watching that stuff on TV, all the highlights they show and everything. Like, I knew all that stuff. You know what I mean? So it was absolutely great, man. Like I said, that's my favorite time of wrestling. I mean, I love the 80s, the early 90s, the late 90s, of wrestling, mid 90s as well, and the early 2000s, and today's wrestling is good too, but that was really the generation I grew up on. But at the same time, I know a lot of people say, I wish they bring the Attitude Era back. You absolutely can't. The world has changed, you know what I'm saying? Now, you can have elements where you're a little more, rougher and stuff like that. It doesn't have to be all kid-friendly, but at the same time, I think after watching episode 5, there's a reason why WWE toned down a lot, and I know why. I'm going to say that for episode 5. But yeah, man, overall, it was a really good episode. I really did enjoy it, and I can't wait to see episode 5 and review for you guys. Please don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to the channel. Leave a comment in the comment section. I hope everybody has a blessed day. I'll see you guys soon.